PIN has returned over £350 million to shareholders. Following the completion of the share buyback we've announced today, we expect this to exceed well over 500 million over that same time frame.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Tony Morgan, the chairman of Pantheon International. Tony, good to speak with you. PIN announced a sale of assets in a share buyback program today. Can you give us more details on that?
Of course. We've announced two significant events today. A targeted portfolio sale in the secondary market, which has generated net proceeds of approximately £224 million. And we've also announced that the vast majority of those proceeds will be used for share buybacks, which will generate liquidity and enhance shareholder value. These measures are a significant step forward in implementing our previously announced plan to refocus our investment strategy and enhance shareholder returns.
Can you remind us what that plan involves, please, Tony?
As you know, over the last 6 to 9 months, the board and Pantheon have undertaken an extensive strategy and portfolio review, leading to a number of key measures which are designed to drive future performance and enhance shareholder outcomes. These measures comprise several elements, but include a more robust capital management approach, a refocusing of the portfolio, most notably in concentrating our portfolio to around 25 high conviction private equity managers, returning capital to shareholders alongside new investments. Since 2022, PIN has returned over £350 million to shareholders. Following the completion of the share buyback we've announced today, we expect this to exceed well over 500 million over that same time frame. And we also implemented quite a material reduction in the fees paid to PIN's manager, Pantheon.
Can you tell us more about the secondary sale?
Sure. We've announced today a secondary sale of a portfolio of assets which will generate proceeds of 224 million at a blended discount to NAV of just over 8%. This was an all-cash transaction, and we expect to receive most, if not all, of the proceeds by the end of June. The sale equates to approximately 11% of the company's NAV. The sale happened after a 6-month competitive process run by a leading secondaries advisor. I'm pleased to say the portfolio attracted considerable interest from a number of interested bidders, and we were very pleased with the pricing we were able to achieve as a result of that. In terms of the sale itself, we've sold or are about to sell 42 fund exposures across 28 private equity managers. Of the 28 managers, 24 are identified as non-core managers for us going forwards. We've previously announced an objective of reducing our number of managers from around 90 to 25, give or take. With this sale, we've reduced the number to 62, so well on the journey to achieving our objective. The sale has helped us reduce the number of managers in the portfolio, which is a significant step forward for us in delivering our new strategy.
And the majority of the proceeds will be used to fund share buybacks.
Yes, that's correct. We've announced today that at least 80% of those proceeds will be used to fund share buybacks, and this equates to approximately £180 million. The buybacks will provide NAV accretion for those shareholders who wish to remain invested, and liquidity for those shareholders who wish to sell their shares at this point. It's important to point out that whilst we are pursuing this buyback policy, we continue to maintain a prudent balance sheet. We want to use available capital on the balance sheet for also completing new investments, as we believe in continuing to invest in new investments is important for medium to long-term returns for the vehicle through the cycle. As I mentioned earlier, PIN has returned over 500 million to shareholders since May 2022, if you include today's announcement.
Sounds like a very busy period for the company, Tony.
Yes, it has been a very busy period, and the board remains focused on improving shareholder outcomes. We look forward to continuing to engage with all of our shareholders on the most appropriate mechanism for future capital returns, and want to thank all of those shareholders who continue to support us.
Tony, thank you very much for the update. Good speaking with you today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Tony Morgan, the chair of Pantheon International.